it could be a deceptively tricky matchup, right?
Ooh,
like,
sell it to me.
I don't know. GamerLegion, sure, when they get to like the high pressure of the stage, something that we saw back in Melbourne, they still have a lot of learning to do. But here in these types of environments, I think they are going to be more comfortable. And something I like is this team's very, very good at sticking to their strengths, kind of playing their game. They don't often get fully, dictated to by their opponent. And there are times where I feel like Spirit give their teams too much respect that they're up against.
Sure.
And so I think GamerLegion will be allowed to play their game here.
Question is their game enough? Magix and Zontics on this B bomb site getting run at right now. Julie's dropped after one, and Zontics committed in the corner. That's fine, though. A 3 for 2 on this B bomb site. Allows a bomb plant, but nothing more, and even then GamerLegion are concerned. Our Spirit right around the corner, only now just entering market. Gives time for positions to be taken by PR. He is the guy in the site with 2 kills to his name already. Oh, and it's over.
That's Donk.
Donk just goes bang, bang, and it's done. Simple as that. The Donk show.
He is so good. I hate watching him. And that's fair enough.
No, I actually love. He's my favorite POV. I actually specifically requested Chev to only spectate Donk in this game.
He's failed already.
He's failed, but yeah, he was at the back of the market. I'll give him that. And we'll see it on the replay. So Donk's here, and Spirit land in Astana with a pistol round. Like, why? Yeah, you wouldn't spec that.
Bro, how did he do
I
that?
have no idea.
That's so messed
I
up.
say it so often. I like the way that you sold the GamerLegion like upset. Not that you're calling it, but the flip side is Spirit don't lose to underdogs really. Like this year alone, they've only lost to Na'Vi, Mao's, Vitality, Falcons. Like all teams in the running, they haven't lost to any other rosters. So like, it's a pretty good track record. I don't know about you, but I would take that. Sure, the question for us is always, like, this could be the best team in the world. Why are they making these transfers? Could they upgrade this roster? But at the end of the day, it is still one of the most threatening teams in Counter-Strike. And to me, Harry, you want my conspiracy? You want my Kyosuke conspiracy?
Yeah, go on.
I think, and this is based off nothing but me reading the room.
Vibes.
Literally, that's where I'm going. I think Donk wants to play with Magix. I think they're buddy-buddy. I think they're good friends.
Okay.
Now, I'm not saying he doesn't want to play with Kyosuke, but I think, everyone's saying the obvious change would be, maybe not the obvious one, it would either be Zontics or Magix. I think Donk wants to play with Magix. I think that's the big sell. They seem very buddy-buddy. And so maybe vibes are the reason, Harry. If you can say, no one's talking about the vibes. Everyone's talking about money. Everyone's talking about, risk, roles. No one's talking about vibes. Very important factor to consider.
Oh, bro, PR, so good. What else can he do with the Deagle? Nothing.
Vibes?
I think my stance is just this. I think as a community, it's cooler that Kaisuke doesn't play with Donk.
I disagree.
Because I want to see him as like the guy standing on his own devices, not playing second fiddle to Donk in a roster. I want to see what he can do. Now, don't get me wrong.
Nah,
is he going to
second
the right
fiddle,
team
bro.
Second
fiddle. He's got to play with Nico Monosig. He's second fiddle.
I like that they start apart.
It could
maybe
be
they link up down the line.
The issue is I don't think you're buying anyone out of Falcons. I don't think Falcons are selling. It's an interesting conversation. It's one maybe we'll can for later because we are watching the game now. We got Spirit with 2-0 lead, but 0B, Harry. 0B. So GamerLegion are winning their first round here.
Spirit knew this was a possibility. I don't know if it is a vision to go down exactly like that.
Just full save now.
Yeah, you now do just have to save these guns.
Okay, so back to vibes talk. What do you think of my vibes argument? Think there's legs to it? You don't like it? You don't think vibes are a reason?
I mean, vibes could be a reason.
I don't know. Everybody's asking.
But like,
I just want to see big firepower.
You say like, There's a big vibes being projected from the Magic's Donk friendship. But then, like, I could think of another name to...
Stop walking around this one. Tell me what you mean.
Well, you know, you could just be like, yeah, buy Zontic.
Oh, okay. Well, no, my argument for that would be I don't think you want to put Kysuke in, like, hard anchor roles.
That's fair.
As much as, like, I feel like you could... If you get rid of him, Kysuke just has to take his roles. Whereas if you get rid of Magix, you can make Chopper do Magic's roles and then put...
Magic's whole, like, career has been filling the void in teams.
Exactly.
So...
That's true. That's true.
I say teams. In this team with Chopper.
Forever. The young Veti, in a way. Nice little pop for GamerLegion, though. They win the round off of a single entry from Rez, a player who's had his own resurgence.
Resurgence.
Resurgence. Save that one for later. And now, Spirit put 2 players back on that B-bomb site. Donk fighting Connector. No Molotov in this position. Free to roam. Oh, they gamble B. They smoke Palace from CT. But no, Chopper goes back to the window side. GamerLegion making the right move at the moment, grouping for an A attack. Rez on his late lurk in middle. That will give away his position though. Now Zontic has some info. Rez trying to fight his way out. Meanwhile, contact out the ramp. That's a beautiful shot for Slend. Donk unable to paint damage down on the A site. They're just going to abandon Rez and try and fight for the A site.
Rez hoping he's wasting time, but PR is the one getting aggressive. Oh, lovely. Chopper gets deleted. And a flash for Torsen. Well, that was supposed to be a double. We'll turn and deal with him. Still getting past PR to save these guns is tricky. And I mean, even if you get past him, there's more players in B for GamerLegion than there are in A. So these guns will not be easy.
That's a bit of luck there.
I mean, PR, like, super interesting talking point. I think, you know, like, not only has he just been sick in this GamerLegion squad, but he also got to experience the nerves that come with playing on stage back in Melbourne.
Oh, the caches.
No, but then I was going to say, we spoke to him during the caches, and we were talking a bit about it, and I think he is a bit scarred still by how rough he played. He said something really, really cool.
Oh, what
and he said, sure, I got, like, destroyed, and my first game on the stage was really rough. And then he was like, but I loved the feeling. I loved the feeling of being on the stage. And he said, it's all I've been thinking about, and I really want to get back.
Oh, I love that.
And so, yeah, you know, I think this is PR realizing just how good it can be and wanting to get back to that.
And to put it in context, he told us this after the game. He said, yeah, that was my worst match ever. And it actually was statistically his worst game ever against Falcons on the stage in Melbourne. So, you know, yeah, the GamerLegion crumbled in that matchup, no doubt, but also Falcons were playing some incredibly punishing CS. Either way, as a desk we're kind of discussing, I think this is a team ripe for the playoffs here in Astana. Definitely could be a roster we see make it to the stage and have another opportunity. And that's super exciting. Could it start with a Spirit upset? Now that would be quite the cool. Not sure I'm going there just yet. But they've started this game off strong. 2 rounds, breaking Spirit's money. Bit of a gamble. B-gamble, I was trying to say. G-bamble.
Kind of a Keith Bramble round. Yep. Shiro.
Oh, that could have.
This is with the scout. But has more chances as they tiptoe up through short. It's another swing and a miss. Nails that one. Finally, the scout delivers. Can Shiro keep the ball rolling? No, he can't. Zontic's iced out. Donk deleted as he rounds the corner. And so GamerLegion arrive in the lead.
With the amount of shots Shiro got off, he could have won that round. Just to put it plainly, I think he probably, on another day, would have won that round, but comes in a little bit cold.
There's a gun right in front of him. AK right there. They're holding for this cross.
Yep.
Ooh, he's got it. Long arms. And he'll take that AK with him. Oh, will he? ZTR playing to deny. Chopper is not expecting this, and that's fair enough. Will get that AK knocked out of play as Chopper's save gets denied by the GamerLegion captain.
Off to a good start here. GamerLegion would have been very spirit of them to win that eco round with a B stack, but some missed shots. Shiro's AWP out now.
Do you know where PR's name comes from? I was asking him about it.
Oh, okay.
I was curious.
No, I
if it
don't.
meant anything, or
Where's it come from?
it's actually like really quite sweet. So like he was like really young, obviously, when he's playing, and he loved Pringles, and so his name used to be Pringles.
Okay.
Just because he loved them.
Yeah.
And then when he got really, really good, he realized, you know, I might play on teams. I can't have like a brand. Name.
I think he could have gotten away with it, but yeah.
And so he changed it to PR from the
PR for Pringles.
Yeah,
is that
the
public?
PR stands for Pringles.
Did you just? Is that the first release to the world?
I don't know if anyone's ever spoke about it, but that's where it comes from.
I think
for real.
I think you've just broke that one to the world. PR equals Pringles, folks.
And it makes sense. He is crisp with it. So
Ah, nice. Chipper guy. I mean, this guy is next level. We saw those entries in jungle the other round. Absolute monster of a player, 17 years of age. Ooh, Slend. Struggles some shots. Allowed to live. Looking for an A split here. CTR's going to have to go back for that bomb. PR currently solo lurking the ramp. In no hurry to play. They're still getting blocked on middle. Donk going through the con smoke. Fearless move. And he's able to convert that kill as well. Very low in the process.
oh, that's clean for Magix.
Damn.
Dawson gets deleted. Let's see if PR can find a way to chip in here. Smoke's going down.
Oh.
PR's already assaulted. First kill comes in. And now he even lurches forward through this smoke. PR will get found out. Shiro denying that push, denying the aggression. Still GamerLegion going to make out with a plant, but Slend is very, very low on health. Feeling wounded, CTR looks to make a play. Aggressive, gets out with one, leaves it all on Slend, but at 5 HP and a 1v3 to find. The odds not in Slend's favor. He's being baited right now to focus all this attention on a Magix down in the connector. Here's the play out the spawn side, and Zontix will find him. No shots landed for Slend in that 1-on-3. Spirit collect and tie us back up at 3-all.
Slow and steady for Spirit, rerouting CT to trade that. No problems on that retake. And it's just Magix baiting in middle with jumps for info. Under the thumb for Spirit. In a 3-on-5 that gets a little bit scary. But all in all, under control. It's GamerLegion with a timeout now. Seen Shiro start a little bit cold in this game, but he had an excellent showing when we saw him last.
I mean, he's had some like weird swings and misses, but he gets a really important kill in that last round, stopping PR from scaling over the stairs. So I don't think we're sounding the alarm bells yet. Still being proactive at the top of the round as well.
Oh, the Molly
He's
missed.
been spotted. They know he's here.
Can they stop
him out?
He jumped over that spray to get out there. Smooth moves for Donk.
Cold as ice as he gets through the connector. He just hands off the keyboard, itches his face.
Yeah.
Takes a minute, knows he's safe.
PR v Donk right now turning out to be a surprisingly interesting matchup. Not necessarily in the head-to-head, but just in the firepower of each roster, both having impactful rounds. And as I say it, PR shows it, finding Chopper and doubling onto Donk. There's the A site crumbling. It's only Magic's here, stuck in on default. How do you get a multi-kill from this position? I do not know, but they're playing behind him in the open. He gets a free kill. Back turn, they're above. What's going on? How are we still in this round? Can Shiro save it, or will he simply save? 1v2, quick shot, not connecting, and cold as ice indeed. It's Rez who puts him on it.
Yeah, scary round for GamerLegion, but in the end feels like a missed opportunity for Team Spirit. Magic's getting gifted a multi-kill under the Palace. This wild sequence.
Yeah, this is just...
PR had such a good round up to that point.
Yeah.
Well.
Just weird rounds already.
No, I mean, you can imagine for a guy like PR, there's a lot of eyeballs on this dude, right?
Yeah.
And he is very, very quickly getting a lot of attention. And so I think when you go to a matchup like this and you're up against Donk, you want to show that you can hit real hard.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
This is sort of a, you know, like a, kind of like a talisman matchup. You have like two real hot riflers going head to head. And so if you come out of it looking this good, that only strengthens all the attention, all the eyeballs on you. PR currently 12-4. It's not even close between him and Donk. Aggression into ZTR, but it's going to go uncleared. So makes out like a bandit. That's the round. Well, I mean, it's a Donk 1v5. Give him the respect that he's done it before, but he will just get run through.
Oh, he didn't look happy with that one there. Just kind of sighing away. A bit of a slow start for Spirit for once. Yeah.
I mean, this is where I think, like, you think about how the game started for Team Spirit. There were a lot of gambles from the get-go, right? Like, their very first rifle round, they left B open. Their, you know, return to the rifles, saw them lean away from the A site and gave that gap over. I feel like right now, they've gambled a lot early, simultaneously haven't like made any crazy audacious plays for space. It's not like Spirit have had a lot of ownership in these rounds. This is finally a bit different. They do own middle. They lent really heavy into it early on. They've locked down this part of the map. They know that GamerLegion aren't here. So that instantly frees up players to go back, pad out the A site now, especially as Donk takes that first point of contact. Chopper's even getting aggressive all the way through middle. This is a much better looking round for Team Spirit. Let's see if they can stick the landing. Donk seems to think so.
Yeah.
He's going on a bit of a tear here. You've been waiting for the big Donk round. Well, he's 3 kills deep into one right now. And even with his low HP, still looking to fight more.
Full info.
Chopper now arrives on that backstab. That's from the mid control they took off the rip. And Donk will finish it off with 4.
I mean, we see the very clear mistake for GamerLegion there, which is to not put Util on the stairs. They molly it, but really late. After Donk gets away with a double kill, they throw a decoy on the stairs. Like, they had the lineup, the player in the position to throw the nade. I imagine that was just ZTR doing double Util, right? Like, from the same spot. But no one gave him a smoke. Rez had a smoke. ZTR needs that down there, or just get the molly in earlier. Either way, the util's not there. Donk just comes over the top and does what he does best. 4 kills, round on the board.
You know, I think there's probably a bit of an idea there where, like, you leave stairs open, you know that Donk's going to be fighting it, so that's sort of the one angle you have to be ready for.
But they ran through the Palace smoke clearing balcony, and they mollied it, but they mollied it way too late. So I just think it's an oversight. Ooh.
Yeah, Chopper's been really trying to get the better of PR over here at ramp, and it's not worked out more often than not. Shiro, that's a very important trade.
They saw him get up there.
In a few of these rounds now, Shiro has been able to get these trade kills onto PR.
Oh my
Even
God.
lands that flick. Is living on borrowed time.
I say.
He's up Zontix for the double on that trade. And with it, the round should follow. It's only Torsen left. The bomb's away from him over in middle. He has no control, no bearings as to where Spirit could be in this 1v3.
Yeah, I'm not sure you're ready for this. Donk just up top mid. Could have mollied it, Torsen, but Donk's sort of baiting his teammate right now. He can swing out and get the kill either way. And Torsen doesn't connect the shots to make that interesting. Team Spirit up to 5. Back in the game.
Yeah, I mean, Donk had to say it's not close between him and PR just a couple of rounds ago.
And now it is
he's
close.
Very, very quickly ascending up through the board. And I like it. Spirit have moved away from kind of, you know, blind gambles out from spawn, and have instead looked to be a lot more proactive in taking key real estate, like middle, exerting some pressure there, denying that away at GamerLegion. That's a wild opener for PR. Do it again. Oh, God, that nade.
He never got shot. He got double naded. He rolled his eyes after the first nade, goes on to 1D Magics, but they have enough artillery for him. 4 on 3, and it should peter out. There's a gun pickup. Oh my God, Zontix just about saves it. That would have been the kill to spill over this site. Instead, he stops it still. And they've heard res. Give me a gun.
Man.
It's the grenades.
They're just there.
Oh, he just got
Ow, and that's it. Shiro will find him.
Did he see him? Must have seen like his hand. All right. Good recovery for Spirit. Looking for a winning half by the end. GamerLegion going to throw in a second timeout to really squeeze what they can out of this T side. No orb for Slend. 3 rounds in a row for Spirit. Back to the mid control.
That's smooth.
Spammable, but they don't risk it. When you're against Spirit, you know that they could be pushing up top middle. So GamerLegion are a little slow to take this control. And right now it's only ZTR with cover from Slend. Oh dear. Oh, just about. Smoke on the Molotov.
It's on a knife's edge for ZTR though, and I mean, all you've done is buy yourself time, right?
Yeah, that's
you are
it.
dead.
He's dead, yeah.
There's the nade to find him. And so ZTR has to just ghost cam the rest of this final round.
Just a PR show right now. Can he save them yet again?
Zontix also putting on a great show right now for Team Spirit. It's him and Donk doing most of the heavy lifting here for the squad. He's extended their advantage even further here.
Okay.
And, well, that's despicable.
Sure.
So good, you hate watching him.
Reported, kid.
Only PR left. Minions ain't spawning. He's got to do this all alone. And he's He's in a box, silenced by Magix and Donk. Team Spirit will go on to win out this first half. It's thanks to a 4-round streak down the stretch. It was ever since they started being very, very active about that mid-control, Donk in particular, getting stuck in. That felt like a real turning point in the game.
Yeah, you put it well as well. Just stop making those blind gambles. Just play off each other far better. Donk, obviously, once he got activated, it was a very different game. He matches PR's kill count by the end of the half when it was, you know, not even close, as you said, 5-3 up. Spirit winning the half despite a slow start.
Yeah, going into round 9, it was 12-5 between the two of them. And past that point, 2 more kills in it for PR. Meanwhile, 9 from Donk, 4 of them coming in that round.
So 4 multi-kill rounds for Donk, it feels like there. Just to get that game back in Spirit's control, and it well and truly is. Swapping sides on GamerLegion's map pick.
Oh. It's so...
Dude, that's quick even in slow-mo.
Some didn't even feel like it helped me understand how he did it.
No. Generational talent. PR forcing something at B, but they're walking out under. He's not going to get to play a part in this one. Does allow for the B rotation, his deep position. Res spotting. They can hear the jumps. They know the jig is about to be up. They path pretty well. I don't know if he's certainly got that info. Going to boost Donk up. You're about to find out, perhaps the hard way. Oh! You freak! How's he done that?
That's so messed up.
That's just... What? Makes it look so normal, like
the one-tap challenge in the last few rounds.
Strat roulette right now. All right, only PR here.
Oh god, it's the clash of the titans.
Oh,
never mind. Never mind. Shuro
2
reminds
bullets.
us all he can nail some shots in the pistol round as well. And now this lurk from Magix is pretty potent. It should get rid of Torsten, leaving them to... he's going really late, actually. So Torsten's allowed to play, but everyone's just firing 1 bullet, getting all the kills. Ooh. The streak's been broken.
Donk has USP at bench. Noticing.
God, they've only killed with 1-taps, man. Oh, God, the deaths have just been immediate.
That was 5 first bullet kills for Team Spirit. Clinical pistol. Blimey.
I mean, we used to say, like, when you're fighting Donk, you have to hit the first bullet or else you're screwed because he's gonna.
Yeah. Look at this.
But nowadays, like, you ain't even getting time for the first bullet. That rule is gone.
Bop. Bop. Boop.
Boop. Dude, Magic's why'd you fire 3 times?
Yeah,
Dog. You killed him on the first one.
Didn't need it. Boost under could be nice, but they don't have the gun for the boost. They're just staying on this position, hoping people walk into them. I actually like this idea. I feel like you guarantee 1 if a player walks under. Even if they clear one of you, the other will get the kill. They still let him pop into middle when required. It will be. Chopper's coming out to clear lower. Magix gets that frag. With a Molotov on under, it wipes that position for GamerLegion. So again, a cool idea, but it doesn't land. Spirit secure their anti-force. Good to see just Spirit wake up and do what they do best, dominate underdogs. It's hard to be as, you know, because again, like the criticism we levy against Spirit is like they could be the best team in the world, maybe with a roster change, or, you know, if it, on an on day, they have some of the players, specifically the player, to be the best team in the world. But there is also something to be said about a roster that doesn't get upset by lower tier teams or less experienced teams. And as I said, coming into this year, the only team Spirit have lost to MOUZ, Falcons, Vitality, and 1 game to Na'Vi. It's a really good track record if you look at it like that. Of course, we still want this team to be taking trophies and threatening Vitality, out of which they've been unable to do. But we could have a Spirit masterclass here in Kazakhstan.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we had Na'Vi in that last game, and we were saying, like, goal for them is like playoffs at minimum. And once they get there, it feels like they have a good chance to go to the final. I think Spirit very much the other team you're looking at in that position. You know, this is an event largely free of all of those teams that you mentioned. The squads that have bested them this year.
And sure, Na'Vi beat them at the start of the year, but that was in, you know, group stage at Kato. And for the most part, we saw what that head-to-head was actually like between Spirit and Na'Vi last year. Like, they destroyed them every time until the end. And I'm pretty sure that Spirit Na'Vi game was like 16-14 third map, so it was really close. No kit here. ZTR's trying to get weird. They're not near. He's on the bomb with a smoke. Nate comes in. That will get him off, but blimey, that was not a bad attempt. 2 kills on the P250, and a kit could have made every bit of difference there. My, oh my. Team Spirit 10-5, and GamerLegion are running out of road.
Yeah, I think the other thing that just kind of sucks a bit here for GamerLegion is there's no support for poor old PR right now. It very much is feeling like a bit of a one-man army. On the other 4 players, there's 20 kills between the 4 of them.
Yeah.
Donk is on 16, PR's on 14. You know, these guys are hitting with the force of the entire GamerLegion roster right now.
Yeah.
You know, where are those big performances from Rez? He's currently bottom of the board, 3-11, has never really got the ball rolling. ZTR's only kind of uplifted himself somewhat with the attempt at the Ninja in the last round. 2 inconsequential kills. There isn't really anyone stepping up alongside PR. And Donk has at least had Zontix from the get-go of this game. They were both looking good. Shiro started to get activated as well. You're getting a, you know, trifecta of firepower for Team Spirit. Meanwhile, for GL, it feels a bit like if PR doesn't multi-kill, they're not going to win the round. And that's a lot of responsibility to put on the shoulders of just one guy.
No. Okay, yeah, you take your chance there. If you're tossed, get out, smoke it out. Meanwhile, Donk and Chopper in middle with full control. And Spirit abandon this A attack. Going back to a B hit. They've got Donk in ladder, so split potential. Chopper plays ahead of the window smoke. Last thing you're expecting, you hear that smoke come down, you miss the timing in your head entirely. Rez gets caught, PR gets the info, but Chopper's out just like that. Now it is ZTR or bust.
PR gonna find Chopper on his lurk. ZTR also has more players boxed in over in the apartments. Flash through, but ZTR's not blind.
Donk is still here.
Play on the back of it.
They need him.
Donk gonna try and spring the trap now, and that's a big kill. PR dead, back in the connector. They set their sights on the B play. The Slend Org from afar bears down upon them. Support coming in from Torsen up through the catwalk as well. Shiro didn't know where to look, and so Slend just hunkers down in place.
What a crazy hunt for PR to jump out and chase Chopper like that in middle. Like, that's such an important kill. Otherwise, Spirit would have had 4 players walking out apartments. Instead, it's one guy through a smoke. The others stall out waiting for Donk. He gets caught. It's an impact kill from ZTR in B and an impact kill from PR in middle, and it stops the role of Team Spirit in an advantage. Giving GamerLegion a chance here on the CT side. Money advantage if they win this round.
It's a frustrating miss for Slend, right?
Yeah.
Like, gets the peak he was hoping for, but just can't hit the shot. Especially because there are some limitations here for GamerLegion. 5v4 would have felt fantastic off the rip. Instead now, though, they have to concede this mid-control. Spirit get it. And they've got a lot of runway to make their play here. PR is also like still very committed over on catch. They're trying to catch players boosting up in a window, but it's Donk who faces head on. And there was no one there to help him. PR got stuck on that island a long time ago.
Donk just waiting again to respring and take window. And this is nice. They're moving up catwalk with the con smoke. If a player threatens from window, Donk is there to jump in. He's going to play late though. Shot through the smoke connects, but Spirit still make it in. Oh, the molly spread, but Donk still gets the kill onto the AWP, and it's up to the Crossfire to hold this bomb site. Low health, could be a chance. They find it. They find every kill. Zontic's here. They're going to have to chase him down. They can't give him this room to get the bomb pop for free. Rez trying to threaten this one. Fake on the bomb is perfect call for Zontix, and he's going to get the stick as well. Unbelievable round for Zontix to save this at the final hour, and Donk nails the headshot to finish a full house from these two.
Yeah, the duo that have been doing it all game long at 4-team Spirit, keep it up. I mean, the balls to commit to a fake plant there with only like 7 seconds left as he's doing it. Baits the reaction out of Rez. He needed that kill. There was no way to plant the bomb if they didn't kill Rez. And so that was very, very well handled from Zontix. Buying enough time as well for Donk to move in, join him, lends that helping hand, getting all the way across the bench. That was a very, very well-handled round.
Yeah, every detail, even that pre-nade, he never saw Rez get out of the market. He just read that he would push with 10 seconds left. He pre-nades Rez, gets him really low with that HE, and then, yeah, fakes reposition so Rez can't pre-fire him. He's on this angle instead of default, and that's just a free kill for Zontix. Donk also masterclass. And 11-6, like it or not, Spirit are here, ready to end this game. As I said, that was a round to give GamerLegion money advantage. Instead, they lose the AWP, it gets gifted to Shiro, and they come out with 2 M4s to their name. Ooh. They were about to go. Smoke has completely rumbled the plan.
Does look like they're going to walk into the stack. Still set on the A site, 4-team Spirit. And GamerLegion have been equally stubborn with keeping 4 here. You've just spotted 2 over towards the ramp, including the AWP and the bomb on Shiro. So you know you're right to keep all 3 players here. Donk gets bested. Lawson lines them up. PR lends a helping hand, and that stack comes up trumps for GamerLegion. Spirit walk right into the Lion's Den. And they'll pay the price. That's giving GamerLegion a chance now, late in this second half.
Yeah.
Wrestling these rounds back and forth across the last 3.
Every time you're ready to write them off, they grab a round out of nowhere. Nice A stack from the get-go. No util, just SMGs churning Spirit up. And finally breaking that money to enough of a degree to just give them 1 rifle on Donk. Out middle with the AK. Nate might find Chopper here. Gotta be very careful. 2 health. Org being seen this get picked up more and more as of late. Donk gonna reroute, try punish what he thinks is ETR on this B bomb side, but it's Slen's AWP. Would he? Could he?
I mean, Slen's had some weird misses as well. It's Donk, he's going up against first, but he hits that.
Had to.
No problem. And that's the big threat of the round removed. The gun still gets juggled around on the remaining players, but you're not as worried here about what Shiro and Magix can do with it. PR keeping them boxed in. Low on ammo, low on ammo. And try to get away. Bloody hell.
He made it.
He will escape.
Hide and seek right now for Spirit. Oh, he dropped. It's just about survival at this point, not winning this round. GamerLegion looking for 8.
The save is potentially awkward.
Yeah, they can't buy next. At least gives them a chance to make an eco interesting. It might even force them into a force. They have the rounds to play with. It would just lead them playing for 13-11.
Like 2,400 loss at the end of this round. You're going to have not a lot on everyone, like 4,400-ish.
And that's not including the players that saved.
Yeah, the 2 guys that saved will have 2,400.
Giving Donk a gun. He's buying armor. Magix recognizes what's happening.
You know, they still have a chance here. You're never willing to write out a Donk hero AK. But suddenly this leaves the series feeling like very, very claustrophobic for Spirit if Donk doesn't give them results in this round.
Tried to get that pick. CTR very bold to go back up, but he's taking a safer jump spot. Still trying to remain active. Spirit, very slow T-sides, very spread. No necessary goal in mind. Just hoping that these rifles can find some success. Donk out under again on a jump spot. More info for GamerLegion. And less answers for Spirit. They just can't find this opening kill. But they've boxed GamerLegion in.
There's the rifle gone. Shiro still has one as well, but he is all alone in this endeavor, playing out through the ramp. I know where Shiro is. 3 players looking in at him. Now, Slend and ZTR are both pretty wounded. Are they going to try and swing him out through the jungle? They're waiting for noise to be made.
On PR's contact.
And Slend actually just took the line. So yeah, Shiro,
it's done.
No going for this. He's going to save this M4. And so it's a 2-round game. But this weird monetary situation, Shiro saving is at least nice. Suddenly you could justify putting in money again. But it's created a chain effect, right? That one save has now constantly left you feeling weird about the money of Team Spirit down the stretch of this game. They could get a buy here. They would have 4 rifles. They're going to be limited in terms of the util. But now you've taken a couple of swing and misses on these like economic gambles down the stretch of this game.
And now because of where you are, you feel like maybe you can't go for an explosive play. Like you've just spent the better half of 4 rounds like trying to keep your money in this game. And now you're going to gamble it all on like a quick A pop or a split? Like it's such a high risk move. It might force Spirit to continue playing slowly. And one thing GamerLegion are doing really well on the CT side is not over-committing to anything. They're not fighting for middle. They're jump spotting all over the map. They're getting info, and they're grouping really, really well. So they're just letting Spirit kind of have enough rope to hang themselves, as it were. And sure, like Spirit can still win these slow rounds, right? Get Donk up connector, multi-kill on the cards, but has yet to be seen on this T side. So you could make a solid case for GamerLegion being the favorites right now in this game despite being 2 rounds down. Do we have an explosive round?
At bare minimum, you know, if Spirit lose this, it's going to be 11-all. Because they will be broke. Finally, all the money bubbles will catch up with them. But that swing from PR, top performer for GamerLegion, he falls first at this critical juncture in the game. That's what GamerLegion lose their front man.
That's exactly what Spirit needed, what they haven't been able to get. This 5-on-4, clean and untraded. Waiting all map for it, or all half rather. Magix doesn't go to collect the AK, he still stays in his position. A valuable one, given Torsen's pushed on the ramp. This is an off angle though. Magix reads it. There's your gun. Gifted. Orp fires off, but it's Rez who gets the kill, so Donk knows he can't go any further.
That gives him a great degree of kind of awareness for the angles he can play here in the connector. Swinging out past Slend, he will get found. A 1v2, it's not impossible here. The hopes of this comeback now resting on the shoulders of Slend. Lengthy reroute, wrap back around for Zontix, finds himself ramp side. Right now, Magix feels pinned, feels trapped. Slender might have got the spot there on the fall down off the stairs. Seems ready for this, and Slend collects. The comeback continues. 1v2 from Slend to make it happen. Double digits achieved. GamerLegion are here to play.
That's an unbelievable clutch up for Slend. He's been missing his shots of the AWP for the most part, but puts it down for a rifle and puts it to use. 1v3 when all is said and done.
I mean, he gets that kill on Donk as well, right at the start of it, falling out through the connector.
And that Spirit, everything went their way. They got into connector cleanly. Donk played his position, got his kill onto the onto Rez out jungle. That's with a 5v4 that Spirit seemingly able to convert upon. And then Slend comes in with a much-needed clutch for GamerLegion, keeping this game going.
Another hero gun for Donk. Another Donk death early.
He's been trying for that fight a lot, and it has yet to work for him.
I mean, dude, Slend has had some pretty ugly shots in this game so far, but I think winning a 1v2 like that is going to do wonders for your confidence. Suddenly, he's looking very, very sharp. He wants to be involved early. That's an awkward death for Torsen, as it does open up a route through middle for Team Spirit, but on the extremities, it's solid. Magix gets found. Shiro boosted up into the window.
Don't go through, Slend. That's,
Don't get me wrong, you're feeling it.
Yeah.
There's limits, everyone has their limits.
Position's great. 3-on-2, they got B-apps taken. Oh, God, that molly. Oh, that one was too deep.
I went too far.
Oh, my God, another tag. Get the wall bang.
Chopper's dead in the meantime. It's just Shiro in this one fight. He's
just shoot.
Oh! They both know he's in here. They're all lobbing nades at him.
Shoot. Yeah. Oh, God.
By 1,000 cuts, but Slend ain't dying.
How is he alive? How is he alive? 1 health, plot armor for Slend.
Someone up there smiling down on you, Slend.
The Juggernaut. And this is done. GamerLegion up to 11. The comeback has manifested. 5 rounds in a row. Economy on the line for Spirit every step of the way. And the eco that could have been is not.
Yeah, this is really, really rough for Team Spirit now. Fantastic for GamerLegion. They've taken every one of the opportunities they've been given. Playing it like champs right now. This is a 5-round streak from GamerLegion, all starting with those awkward saves that Spirit tried to squeak through.
Rez is legged. He dropped his gun, but don't know why. So Shiro's AWP at least having value at the start of this round, forcing GamerLegion to play passive, but they've been doing that all half long. Allowing the mid control, rarely threatening this position, knowing it is Donk's playground. Let him swing on the monkey bars. So Spirit take it again. PR in a new position up in ladder. This time it's Chopper tasked with the window lurk. 4 players here for Team Spirit. Chopper goes through. Who's going to hold this smoke when it fades? Yeah.
He was going to nade it, but decides against it.
Doesn't want to give away his position. Here they come, Con.
Another leg.
He's going to drop in.
Dropped in behind them, but this smoke's going to fade. PR's on a timer, tries to play it forward. Donk pays it forward, and there's Chopper collecting through the window. It's the 2 players that Shiro legged with that AWP left at the end of the round. They are so wounded. Spirit just have to finish the job that Shiro started. And all the way to 11-all.
Yeah.
It's going to get snatched away from GamerLegion.
Doesn't need to save, but it's so unrealistic, isn't it? The 1v3 late in. Rez just grabs that AWP. He was legged by Shiro. He doesn't want to give it a go. Full health, I think he tries it. I can't believe Chopper doesn't even hunt that kill. He lets the flank come in. He didn't have to drop out window, but the smoke was fading. He could have held PR, who hunts down Shiro, but Donk and Co keep it under wraps in connector. The difference here is Spirit have so many numbers coming up con side instead of just these A-ramp palace plays where they've been getting stalled out by different positions from GamerLegion. And the trades come in, even though that round is frantic, Spirit find map point on GamerLegion's pick. This is a heartbreaking game if GamerLegion lose it now.
I mean, you can feel in the comms, GamerLegion still high energy. They were believing all the way to the bitter end of that last round. But now we see if they can complete the comeback. Can they run this game back in OT?
No way, they just punch the B site.
All in B pop and Donk at the forefront. This time, no warp there straight away to tame him. Slend will move in a little bit later, but it's just the one from that AWP. Now Shiro owns this sight line through the market, gonna get smoked off, giving some passage to GamerLegion to try and move in. But all 3 players approaching from the market side. Spirit set up to deal with this. They also have 3 guns trained on this position. With Chopper shoring up short, there's really only one angle left to worry about for the rest of Spirit. And Shiro, quick work made over the first man in. There's Magix with the support, and this comeback gets stopped in its tracks. Spirit will lock in the victory. A hard-fought battle, the full distance in regulation, but they walk away 13-11, the victors on GamerLegion's Mirage.
That was one hell of a fight that GamerLegion put up, but Spirit just at the end there enough to keep them in contention to close this out 2-0. Obviously now GamerLegion's going to have to equalize that series, Dust.
Yeah, I mean, it was Spirit.
Donk kept up appearances. Meanwhile, PR fell a little more silent. And that really did feel like the big difference between the 2 of them. Donk very much kept it going all map long.
Yeah, it may end today for GamerLegion with a feeling of what if, of what could have been in this series as they go all the way in regulation against Team Spirit. But this is a home map for Spirit. This is their second pick typically, and they are not going to be worried about this one anymore. See if they can play like it. Pistol round up ahead of us. And we've got a bit of a look outside for Donk and Chopper. P250. And looking for that first bullet accuracy that we saw earlier. It's instead Rez coming through the smoke and dropping Donk in his tracks. Chopper almost makes it into main, and Rez says no. Ramp taken, but what can you do with it? There's already 2 players down lower, and your exits are being held.
Rez getting to show us. This is why he's the yard man now. Locks in a lovely double. And starts this one off strong for GamerLegion. Now they just need to stick the landing.
I mean, no excuse on this pistol. They have such good positions. Ironically, the best option might be trying to jump up into heaven because of Slen's low health, but Rez will not let them get there. 3rd kill in the round. Creeping down into this B bomb site. PR keeps it clean and keeps 5 alive for GamerLegion. That's more like it. A pistol in the pocket. We're happy to see him.
That was so clean from Rez. I don't know how he's just rocked up and done that in the pistol. It's not like he was blowing us away on the opening map. Oh. And he was actually struggling for the vast majority of that game.
Oh, the whole time, actually. He was the bottom performer, didn't really have any huge impact rounds to talk of, was largely irrelevant on Mirage. So it's a far better look.
I actually want to say he's already matched his first half scoreline from Mirage.
Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, 3 and 8. And then 5 and 9 on CT.
PR makes some money. Oh, or don't.
Torsen makes some money.
Oh.
Or don't. Okay, he will. Yeah, they're Glocks. GamerLegion are not going to relent. Lovely jubbly. All right, no kills for Team Spirit yet, but here come the guns. Actually taking a full eco. Rarity, but T-side nuke makes a lot of sense. Very constricting map. When you don't have utility. So let's see what they got.
I also like that GamerLegion start that CT side off with a play, right? Like they actually go and meet them in the lobby. I know they're only up against Glocks, but it's nice. You don't like sit back and play it all scared. You clean that round up very, very quickly and make some money as you do it.
Late smokes here for Zontix, still yet to throw them. He gets a player to red first. Chopper, the space taker. Very far out, but it's a hard shot to hit. And he won't overcommit, waits for the smokes to come here. Meanwhile, B drop from ramp. Leaves it completely open, but I think Rez has just turned around. He's heard them get out of position. He knows they're out ramp. So even outside player now considering Hell and Team Spirit just take the space. They don't walk away from it into B. Oh, that's the round, actually. Funny that. Wouldn't you know it? That's an unlucky lineup for GamerLegion.
Yeah, that's rough. It's like one where the second you die, you think like, oh, our spacing was horrible. Like we were just too close. It's unfortunate. You know, we lined up for him.
Yeah, it's fine to just bait your teammate there to, you know, in a hallway like that, just bait your teammate and just almost guarantee the trade. They're just trying to get out with no deaths. And instead they get all the deaths. Also trying to upgrade, but Spirit, they're the ones getting out with the guns. Maybe you can find Chopper here.
Terrorists win.
I mean, it's interesting. In 2 of the 3 rounds so far, there's been no one ramp, right? And instead, you've had double B drops. It started that way in the pistol. Yeah. The only round you've actually had a ramp player was that anti-eco in the second. You know, and I'm curious. I'm curious if for GamerLegion there's like more layers to that. If eventually they hope to try and trick Team Spirit into the ramp hit. Or is this them being nervous because the last time these teams matched up, Yard was a really big problem for GamerLegion? And so is this something that like Spirit are already taking a bit of an edge in relishing in this ramp space? We'll have to see how this one keeps up, because once again, solo player in ramp, but it's PR this time getting aggressive with it. And you can see Spirit weren't really ready for that at all, especially not with him having dropped in the smoke. They were expecting a lot more respect from the ramp side, and so that's a nice move out of PR. Not without its risks, but it's paid off for him.
Oh, that's unlucky for Donk. Tries to creep under the smoke. Taste of his own medicine from Rez. Now they just go back to ramp, the old reliable, the old empty ramp. Again, completely uncovered. PR. Even 1 kill here would be fantastic, but it's only damage. Comes with the info. ZTR is still in position to be a nuisance on this B bomb site, but they can plant. Not for him. Getting control of the double door is huge real estate for Spirit. And now options open up. A winnable post plant, albeit a low Magics in a round that GamerLegion will throw everything into. Oh, Chopper is so alone here.
Oh, full blind as well. Shiro can't help him. He does what he can. It's another one of these lineups, but this time GamerLegion get out with the round. They don't get multi-kill when they line up for old mate Shiro. And they'll continue to build upon this lead.
Yeah, there's not many great setups you can really do there in the post-spawn, considering it could be a ramp retake. Magix doesn't know for sure. They were already single, which Spirit were accounting for, and they did fight towards double, but Chopper's just full blind, doesn't get a single kill from that position, and that's when you feel like a 2v4 in that spot is not going to happen. Good trade work for GamerLegion. I think Chopper just needs at least one kill there. Spirit with a timeout early, because this is a weird game right now. Like you mentioned, they're getting this ramp space. It's not been a threat.
It's, you know, this is like a cool, you know, unorthodox way of looking to divide the map as CTs, with the tendency to be leaving ramp open, but then they still play usually one or two players down lower.
And their Hell players watching, well, the outside players watching
they
Hell.
Have the outside guy watching Hell, and then you have two players on B who, like, based on the info they're getting, can then make a play up through Secret and assist out in the yard. And what that's doing is it means that if you're retaking B, usually you have at least found something outside, and you know they can't be vent, which is like the most important thing. You're able to scramble those lower rotates. So it's an interesting look to this CT side.
It allows you to rotate even quicker, right, because of that vent control. It just means, like, if Donk starts fragging outside and getting Secret, then GamerLegion, this strat falls apart. But they've been finding him. He's 0-3. Going through the main smoke now, doing the apex on this A-split. Donk gets him with backs turn. He gets two chances. He only takes one. PR from the heaven, providing some cover. He's the only man in the site.
That's really awkward, though. They were both mollying, and so PR's allowed to get 2 kills out. Rez even plays through the main smoke. They didn't know he was there, because earlier on, him and Donk traded places. And so GamerLegion are able to collect. It all comes together beautifully. Missed chances on the opening for Donk, right? Had a couple of kills on a platter there. It was the rotate through heaven out of PR that was their saving grace. And I do feel, you know, a little awkward for those players in HUT. They both had mollies pulled. They're both mollying heaven. That meant they didn't actually have a player in the site ready to kind of swing and deal with PR.
It's a mistake you can't really, like, analyze, because, you know, they're probably both calling, I'm mollying at the same time, and it's too late.
Yeah, I mean, suddenly that round gets super chaotic, right?
Guns out, they find PR probably. It's a more comfortable round. They can get outdoor. It's, I mean, it's a sick round for GamerLegion, who do get caught off guard with 2 players back turned. I don't even think, like, Donk should need the double kill for that round to work. It's PR saving the day again here for GamerLegion, looking to continue to be the star. And when you add Rez to the equation, who was a non-factor on Mirage in a game that went 13-11, and he's performing right now in his position. Plus, there's a whole new element of GamerLegion not playing ramp in this game. I think that's something that the Spirit are going to have to problem solve on the fly.
I think you're getting a lot of problems leveled at you that you've got to solve if you're Spirit, right? Because also, I'm hesitant to throw it, like I said, but it feels kind of, you know, like we spoke before about the idea of, like, positionless Counter-Strike. It's not been uber consistent in these moments, who's where. It's not like from the kill feed alone you're able to piece together how the entire round is playing out. PR has been aggressive through ramp. He's also been one of the guys dropping B with Rez. In rounds where they don't do that, Rez is out in the yard, but even then plays in tandem with Torsen there. And so that's kind of been swapping up.
Yeah, you're realizing you have to expect everything. You have to expect the unexpected. I think when Spirit do go lower, they have to be ready for 2 players already there. That is a huge impact round for GamerLegion, and Spirit are going to up the pace.
ZTR will get his one. And in they come. Slend plucks one out with the AWP. Second man up through the heavens is PR, and there's ZTR with the aggression. That is a clean wipe out of GamerLegion.
Just walks through the door smoke as well. No respect right now for GamerLegion. The game plan has absolutely gone to plan, and 5-1 on the CT side. Donk just getting destroyed at the moment. Been getting smoke spammed.
Dude, for Chopper, there's still this like wild Pandora's box of like, what about ramp? Like, you know, in amongst all of this, when we're going out fast A and we're running into these super fast rotates, like, are they still not playing any one ramp? PR has been in that A site every time they've tried to fast hit it, and he is the guy that leans over towards the ramp side for GamerLegion.
He does start there now, gets a molly in, smokes it, and stays ramp. So again, you can keep them guessing, you can stay dynamic, you can call like, okay, this round we won't play anyone there, this round we will. This round will boost, that's not getting cleared. Last thing you expect
especially
after
not
an
with
empty
the
ramp.
tendency that you've built up all game long, that ramp's clear.
The thing is, yeah, if that's a normal game and you're like peeking ramp, you don't see anyone, you think they're probably boosted, man, because I'm not getting any contact. In this game, you go, oh, no one's peeking me, ramp's clear. You're probably not going to check that.
A very cool game plan that GamerLegion have proposed on this CT side.
I would have bet on Donk at the start of the series here, but I think Slen's on for it right now. He's been getting better and better. I take it all back. Where did his bullet even go? Donk just slides in and out of that shot. And now we have a round, an interesting round, where Spirit have the control that they wanted.
This is also like the first time where the name in the kill feed, and more importantly, the weapon they have has kind of shored up Donk for the fact that Slend was down here alone, right? And it's not one of these double starts. It was the AWP posted, holding onto the secret push. And so now I think they will look to link back up with him. He's still controlling the vents. There's no ability to fast rotate down. Might just be the A split. They're going to try and get past Rez. Goes uncleared, gets away with one for free. This is starting to stall out kind of awkwardly, and ZTR collects his kill.
No way.
Crossfire tears through Team Spirit. They just don't know where to look.
Sweden's back, baby. My goodness, what a mow down on that crossfire. Rez just not overcommitting. And Spirit trying to get weird with it again. Like, they have Donk down lower, but they go for an upper split. Maybe thinking the yard players pull back to ramp. They just can't get a read on this game right now. It feels like everything they do, they're doing the wrong thing. They're running into the setups.
There's just been so much movement in the CT side throughout the game. You don't really know what any of these kills mean.
Unpredictable match, for sure. Like, I don't know how you could... You always feel like you have to just do, like, top hits and fast ramps here to add in some chaos, because when GamerLegion are able to pick their positions late in the round, they're picking all the right ones.
I think, sadly, you might need to go back to ramp and just see what's happening there. Get a bit of a lay of the land for if they're still leaving it clear. And sure, I guess the worry is, like, are you playing into their hands, right? You know, both teams know that ramp wasn't played at the start of this game. But even that feels awkward to Spirit. Like, they don't know that for a fact anymore. They haven't been ramp in a long time. And it's like, even when they get the kill down lower, they were nervous the whole time, I think, about crossing the yard because they still hadn't found Rez, and you just don't know where that guy is in this game.
All right, more standard old school round, 4-1, down behind the old smokes. Vent drop is clear for ZTR. Chopper place behind them, kind of like Nico would, but he's not got the AK, so it's going to be hard to do it. It's actually Donk who does it instead. Chopper joins his team. But that means you now don't have the rifle entering into B. And no one's giving Donk anything outside. So into this crossfire you go.
It feels like, again, they're really trying to play around maintaining this control over the vent. But this time, PR wasn't able to get there in time, and Shiro, even past that, taps him out. Slend creeping forward might just be a kill on a platter here. Magix collects that one. And Rez, that's a wild flick back round, but it's not enough to get the ball rolling.
I don't know.
Torsen, here's the bomb, skirting away. Oh my God! No, it's been dropped to him. He does get dinked in that fight. And he wasn't aware about the player already in upper. But the bomb tumbles away. Torsen low on health.
Full reset. It's not a bad call. Try and put distance between yourself and that bomb. But the issue is they're going back down the vent. They're regrouping. As Zontix tries to force a shot out, Torsen holding the top. They don't have time to go back up. Surely this ends lower as Magix just came from this position. He'll put it down, and it seems like Spirit might have this one finally under wraps. Nice try for Torsen. I think he knows if he just sits still in one of those positions, he's going to get cleared. He's going to miss a timing. He had to catch Spirit off guard. Nice Tech 9 work for Shiro, and that hunt for Magic's in lower. Very crisp.
Oh, a Donk hit Rez with a nice shot. Because it's fair. He did hit that 180.
Yeah.
Kind of destroyed him. But yeah, you know, this is Spirit. You can tell, even with how that 3v1 became weird, they never feel comfortable. No good read on what GamerLegion are doing. This is a step in the right direction, but this is where Team Spirit want to start building something on this T side.
They just need to get out of this half with like 4 rounds and be like, okay, that was a weird game. We'll figure it out in the demo review. That, you know, they caught us off guard, fair play. But let's just get enough to win this on the CT side. That's what Spirit have got to be thinking at this point. GamerLegion with a timeout, knowing that that was a low econ round for Team Spirit. And so they will have everything they need, including the AWP on Shiro. Something that's not been a factor in this map. Want to see how he utilizes that.
Yeah, I'm really curious where he plans to take it. Because it's not like they've been getting heads-up fights in the yard. It's not like GamerLegion have been crossing red, so there's much value in taking that AWP up to the top of silo. Yeah, that was Donk when he got 180.
We've all been there. Nobody is safe.
Oh God, Donk. And he hated it.
Game respects game.
It's the Goatland MVP.
Made a sterner stuff, I hear.
Yeah.
4 concrete hold outside for Rez. And Donk delivers him death. Orps hit some bullets here, but he's not found a kill, and Slender's in hot water. Bit of bother here. Gets the full health player. Magic's with the trade and follow up into help. Drops his grenades. He's just on the warpath right now. Knows he has the room. 2 on 3 though, and oh, he missed it. 4x3, no. 4x3. He was on his screen. We saw. He did not. Magic's just had enough.
Crazy rooting for Magic's, yeah. Like that's a guy who just wants to start winning. He takes every single fight he possibly can.
Oh, it's a shame. Gives away his position, but doesn't get a kill from it.
The bomb's crossing in the yard. It's Donk with an AWP.
That being said, like Donk, like he's bog downing it there, but Donk is legit on the AWP. Like Donk's not.
Dog still got it.
Dog's got it.
Dog got that Donk.
He could be an AWP, Harry. That's all I'm saying. You know. When I see Donk grab the AWP, I don't get worried. You know.
Look out, guys! Dog got his paws on an AWP.
He got that Donk in him. Nice shot. Up to 3 now. Spirit building, breaking the money.
Ooh, they play no one ramp now. They play everyone
ramp. Spooky, huh? All right, Rez. No way you've hit this time. I mean, you have absolutely this timing. Donk will check it because he's just a freak of nature. Why is he holding that?
What is that?
Why is it his crosshairs in the perfect place? Nah. It couldn't be better.
Rez, I don't even blame you. Throw a report on just to be safe.
Yeah,
like you could never be too safe.
No.
Right?
Like he obviously. Oh, wait a second. He obviously is legit. But if Donk just got banned for cheating one day, we'd all kind of be like, yeah, I mean, it didn't make sense, you know, fair enough. Like, I don't get it, but if anyone was, like, look at this. Why? Why'd he do that? Why'd he go back outside? Dude.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Thank God it's on LAN. Rob's had to go to London to prove he wasn't BS.
I think just throw a report on.
Yeah, just in case. You never know.
Maybe when backnet drops, like,
Yeah.
he is done. He's toast.
Alrighty. Spirit, forget the lack of ramp control because they're back. They've got their 4. They're looking for 6. Donk v Res rages on.
And these gambles over towards ramp, the early conditioning that GamerLegion put in here, the work they did early to kind of give more room to PR on the ramp side has started to falter in the last few rounds.
Spirit never really bought in, right? They never just tried to take that position fast or pretend it was empty. Great flash play, Res getting Donk. This is a great head-to-head. PR dead, they take the space. No one lower. If Spirit just drop now and play quick, they have great position.
ZTR will scramble down there, but no one else is even in a position to rotate. Not in a super quick manner. You can see that Rez has got his knife pulled, running as fast as he can to get into position to help his captain hold this lower site. Spirit have pumped the brakes, and so that's given Rez some time.
Do it.
But Shiro's AWP, if it's going to be ready for anything, it's a swing out of these doors. He can get posted and lock out one of the angles. It's the double doors being open. They want to try and deal with ZTR. They have to claim this position. And as they go looking for it, they don't like what they find. They're in behind ZTR, but he's getting away. A hop skip and a jump. He's dodged the 2 players for Spirit. Now Torsen's able to play this crossfire as well. They just can't find ZTR. Finally, they will. Into the 1v2, but with 8 seconds left, Magix has to plant this bomb, and Slend will swing that door wide open to close one on Team Spirit.
Dude, ZTR is a slippery fish there. He got 2 kills, swung the AWPer, jumped out the window, and they bought so much time, and I think that's key as well. It's not just that, you know, he goes for a 3rd fight. If he dies with enough time for Magix to fake, to get weird with it, no, it's an unwinnable clutch. You've got players on both sides of the site.
Like, as mentioned going into that, Rez was the only guy who could get to ZTR in time. Everyone else was going to take a while, right? So yeah, him buying more time not only left them with like 6 seconds left and a bomb plant still to get, but it meant that Torsen and co were already there. Very, very good stuff from ZTR to make that round happen.
Phenomenal half for GamerLegion, and it could be even sweeter with an 8th round on the top. Got this flash play again ready. Break on the smoke to give Rez info. Doesn't see him crossing. Doesn't look like he even wants to go through this. To get an orb, it's the orb, but it's put down first. Magix again going on his quick routing. Round hell. Look at him go! Can't find a second. PR does put it to bed, and ZTR with backs turned, wanting to come up secret, has missed the timing entirely. Lobby reset. Spirit have not had any success on the top site in this half. Will they risk it? Unknown positions right now. Torsen could be his round.
There's just a lot of players for GamerLegion that are like making their moves and their play, and so Torsen is alone in that top site. ZTR will arrive through the lobby, but he's going to arrive late once that bomb is already planted. Only armed with this MP9. Zontix will offer up a tasty option to upgrade and leaves it just on Shiro.
Good routing though. It's not
Quick
for him.
react on the push in to try and find ZTR lurking in the lobby. Out through the door now. That was a golden chance for Shiro. We'll realize it the second time around, but Kit on ZTR. Shiro has to close the distance, and he makes it happen. 1v2 for Shiro. Gives some salvation to Team Spirit here as they squeak by with 5 rounds on this T side.
Yeah, the stick is admirable, but he goes for the jump shot instead, trying to catch him off guard. And Shiro puts it together to give Spirit enough road to still win this game in the CT side. A very strange map of Counter-Strike. GamerLegion make it interesting, and they send Spirit back to the prac room after this match, regardless of the outcome. They need to look at this one
I mean, yeah, the last time these squads matched up, they got blown out the water on this map, and it wasn't even close. They didn't get a single CT round. All they found was just 4 on the T half.
So it was over before they got a chance.
Yeah. Like, they barely got to play a CT half. And, you know, I think a lot of it was just this kind of cool game plan early on, trying to manage the yard fights, trying to control the rotates through lower, always leaving options open, and you could feel that Spirit just didn't have their bearings for the majority of this first half.
No Julies for Donk. It's Magix and Zontix. Oh, Shiro takes him in the end. Door smoke, but it ain't broke.
Back on Mirage, it was the CT side where PR cooled off substantially while he came into this hot on the CT side of things for GamerLegion. Now moves over to the T side. 12 and 8 top in the charts alongside Rez, who's had one hell of a recovery. We will require some mileage out of Rez if there's any hope for GamerLegion in this pistol. They've been picked apart one by one. And that ball never gets rolling for GamerLegion to open up this second half. Team Spirit walk away with a dominant pistol round.
Cool position for Magix on a pistol as well, right? You expect to see Julie's hut roof is pretty standard, but you know, Molly's come down all the time. They use that door smoke to put Magix in the corner. And it looks like it's an easy spot to clear, but because of how the door opens, if you just E it, it really isn't. You're going to be looking at main, got other positions to worry about. Magix gets a lot of warning there, so easy kill for him. And the A site held just fine for Spirit. And hey, if GamerLegion have made this much of a change on their CT side, coming into a game of Nuke here, what's their T side going to look like? Because I've seen both, you know, looks of GamerLegion. I've seen really good T sides where they have variety of smoke walls, where they, you know, come through the smokes into garage. They do these main splits that are really meta right now. But I've also seen T sides where they just fall flat on their face and they can't find a single entry kill. And so their half goes nowhere. Which will it be today? 4 Glocks now. It's going to be an even game before the guns. Get him. And they will.
All right, though, here's the big test for GamerLegion. All right, because you're already left with this feeling that this has been a hell of a good fight put forth from the GamerLegion squad. They were 1 round away from doing it back on Mirage. They won out the first half here and played a very convincing game to do that. But is this just going to be one where you look back and you think, damn, it was a pretty sick effort? Or are they actually going to push Team Spirit to their limits here on Nuke? This round will decide an awful lot. I mean, first rifle round coming up. We've got the AWP for Shiro. Bit of a bonus for the rest of the gang. And so the time is now for GamerLegion to strike. They're going to try and cross out in the yard.
Chopper risky down the vent, but it is well timed as the cross comes through silently after the HE on the smoke. They have no idea. Donk caught off guard. I was going to say he can't get that kill surely, and Rez slides out of there. Chopper should be fine. Gets shot a bit, but blocking on this B site. Still got Shiro's AWP glass in this first buy. A buy that featured 2 MP9s. So high-risk investment that has to pay off here and now. Psych.
That's awkward. That's a lot of damage done from Zontix in that position. Softens up this main split. And now it's just low HP on Slend, offered up to Magic's on top of the hut. They make it out through the door, sure, but Shiro here to slam it on them. And even if you deal with him, Chopper will fly up this vent. PR shot in the side of the head. That one was on a knife's edge, but Spirit able to pick it up. That was them with Shaw and AWP in the round, but everyone else playing bonus. A lot of SMGs, FAMASes still in play. And they're left a man down.
That's a guy who sits on hut roof every day of his life for Magic's. I like how he plays forward on hut roof and he sees the feet coming in, and that's when he knows it's a main split, so he pulls back, so it's a headshot angle. It's a harder shot to hit coming out of main, and he gets a better fight. Little detail there to keep that A site all in Spirit's hands. They never lose it. Donk rifling door, watch out, but there's that main split that comes in quick. Again, we're popping top site. Donk only good for one, and it's Rez's Tech 9 that goes explosive on this A site. Bomb plant quick, forget stopping it. The nades will come in late. Spirit are not slowing down, low health.
They didn't realize Shiro dropped in, and so Slend ends up in an unwinnable fight. Torsen won't be able to swing this before that molly fades, and so the round was out of their hands. That was a very cool move from Shiro, right? The double nade onto Rez planting the bomb, and he drops as those nades go off. Rez was the only guy who could have heard that. He can't hear anything because he's been HE'd to death.
Yeah.
And you could see that Slend ended up in a position he did not want to be in once that realization was they've already gotten out of heaven. They're in the site. Good pace on that retake for Team Spirit. I think it's used to be very, very common to slow down, see them slow down too much in moments like that, but they kept the pressure on throughout that entire top site here.
I think part of it is the money as well, right? When you know they're on Tech 9s, even though it's dangerous to close a distance, you don't want them to get AKs and then get in post-plant positions. You know you have them stuck on the bomb site, stuck in door, stuck in main, wherever it be. They're not in their favorite positions right there. And so, sure, you allow the bomb plant, you have a choice, but you don't let GamerLegion get comfortable. And that's despite only one from Magic's and Donk in that top site each, so pretty happy with that round if you're Spirit. GamerLegion back to the drawing board. Slam with the smokes.
Yeah, standard cross smokes going in. So they will manage to get ZTR down at Secret. Chopper's been dispatched to try and deal with him. Oh, he knows he's found the gap. He thinks that Chopper thinks right now he's holding the pixel angle. In reality, ZTR's ahead of it, so Chopper is dead. There was no way that he could have stopped that push in through lower once he missed that timing.
It's good to know that that shadow really is a problem. I hadn't seen that before, but great timing play for ZTR. He doesn't jump the gun. Move being made by Spirit, pushing into the hut with 2 players here. PR, low health, gets out. GamerLegion now just waiting for this attack, seeing if Spirit bring it back to the lobby. They won't. Donk on ramp, Shiro wasting time outside. This upper hit is inevitable. Only one is not enough. It's got to be Magic's.
Shiro in position, lands a tag. Magic's now spotted at the back of the site. They know he's here. They know what to expect. They're trying to close the distance, and Torsen will. Donk now moves in. Not for long. Dead instantly.
He's been getting beat in this game, right? No doubt about it. He's had a couple of nice moments, but head-to-heads have looked pretty favorable for GamerLegion. 11 and 12. No crazy multi-kills to talk of. One and dones more often than not. Impressive push into that top side for GamerLegion, keeping it pretty clean.
Yeah, I think it's just reassuring that like you don't overcook that round, right? Like 5v4 with 1 kill lower, but also like you only have 1 guy there and the bomb is so far away. Like that can still be tricky to fully link up and realize, especially as they got stalled back in the lobby when PR took damage. There was definitely a world where you could have overthought that round, tried to get too weird with it. But they keep it nice and simple just with that fast top site hit in the 5v4. And Spirit going to burn their final timeout. As you know, they might be set up in the lead right now, but that's all thanks to how this half started, right? A convincing pistol, convincing first rifle round. Up until this point, though, it felt like they were very much the team having to play catch-up, lagging behind GamerLegion, and looking a little confused in some of these rounds. There might still be an air of that confusion setting in for Spirit. They get this buy together, but their money's about to get broken if they fall short, so they really have to stick the landing here. This is GamerLegion's chance to put themselves back into the lead very late in this game.
Rez v Donk. Rez is having a great map after a very poor Mirage. Taking his time to clear outside, and Shiro on ramp, who holds his position. Molly goes deep, Shiro dodges the flash, looking for a second shot.
He hit that, but
Yeah, for 25?
I don't know where or how or
Through
whatever
the
he
corner,
did.
in the leg. I mean, it's unlucky for Shiro. Also lucky for Slen to still be in this round. And Rez has just sat behind main this entire time. Donk yet to see anything outside, still in this position. At a minute mark, GamerLegion working the yard.
Donk with a swing.
Okay.
And he makes mincemeat of the players outside. Slend and Rez both bested in that engagement. And so GamerLegion will get this real estate, but when you look elsewhere, 2 players already down lower for Spirit. They don't have to worry about this ending up on B. And now they actually re-aggro and look to take some control over the lobby from a ramp push. Magic's still waiting in a very safe position. He knows the big threat in this round is the Heaven climb up. He's also not vulnerable to main here, out towards the vent. And so GamerLegion, they feel like this one is undoable. They don't even give it a try.
Saddest part is they actually had a plant available to them. Not really a commitment to the A side there for Spirit, but GamerLegion are to know that. And Donk, patience pays off. Sat behind Credit all round. They smoke Credit out, which I've not seen before. And he just wide swings yard like it's nothing.
They had enough money to buy up here anyway. Especially with the loss bonus maxed out. I would have loved to have seen them try something there. Especially because if you think about going into that round, they had Spirit on the ropes in terms of the money.
Sure.
When you let them keep 4 players alive now, they're still not fully out of the woods in terms of their bank accounts, but they're a damn sight better off now than they were last round. And so Spirit will continue to build on this CT side. GamerLegion did not like the conditions of that last round, so let's see if they can make something more favorable here. Torsen walking up close, gets past Donk in main.
Makes it look easy.
Puts a lot of pressure on this top site. Suddenly you don't know where to look. You're worried about the split. And so PR's allowed to strike out through the door. This bomb isn't even going A. PR's just selling a fake, and they've fallen for it. Hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah.
B site is wide open for GamerLegion.
Shiro dropped in. Otherwise, he might have been able to assist at the ramp side, but PR is just playing with his food, gets all the info. They are getting exits here, and will that exit turn into an entrance into this B bomb site? Only Spirit can answer that question. They don't want to risk dropping down the vent, and so they will allow the round to GamerLegion in a 3-on-3. Too much uncleared ground on that lower bomb site. Nice mid-round for GamerLegion to actually to cancel the plan and go down to ramp. Considering that had all the makings of an A split with an entry out main and a player outdoor.
Thanks to the save, they will be able to full buy in this next round.
Terrorists win.
Both teams taking it very cautious when it comes to the money. No Hail Mary rounds attempted.
You know, with how that last game on Mirage went for Spirit, I think they're thinking a little bit about how close that became once they lost control over the money. And so, yeah, being more cautious here.
Not a bad thing. Dropping vent just always feels like a death sentence as well. Shiro's up outside, not seen this. Just firing off blind.
He insta repositions after firing as well, right? Just putting the fear in. It's like false info now for GamerLegion as to where that AWP lies.
Got 3 smokes. Out they go. No one lower. This is a huge risk for Spirit. To have 0 rotations. It's Shiro assisting with utility, but it should be Zontic's dropping. It's finally going to go down now. The GamerLegion nearly entirely down this B bomb site. PR left to lobby, and Rez holding their flank.
The smoke wall they threw almost insinuates that they were trying to play for like a garage wrap. And so you're not seeing like a crazy reaction out of Spirit dropping players lower. It's only Zontic's here. Outside still remains a bit of a mystery for Team Spirit. Only now do they learn where GamerLegion were hoping to end up. Zontic's gets out with one.
Is that bomb upper? No. One just ran out hut.
Chopper will have this backstab and a chance to deny the bomb plant. Doesn't decide to swing. Does create some room for Shiro, bit of chaos there. Meanwhile, there's this awkward fight between Rez in the Hells. I mean, the Lurkers do a lot of damage for GamerLegion in that round. Rez cooking in the back line. They divided that CT setup beautifully. Spirit weren't sure where that play was ending up. So they only ever had one guy down at lower.
Yeah, very confusing round, I think, of your Spirit, because, like you said, the fake garage smokes perhaps, but also Rez dropping in off main roof super late in the round to the point where no one can hear him drop because they're down vent, and he just flanks the ramp play. There was a chance for Shiro to win that round off of the 1 kill on the low health Slend. But stopped in his tracks, and money dripping dry as GamerLegion are the ones to call the timeout. 10 apiece. But this should be 11 for free. Spirit putting a lot of money into this. Considering they have minimal loss bonus, 2-stage.
I mean, this is huge for GamerLegion. Like, they're in a better spot than they were on Mirage, and they still made that game really, really close. There, they were having to launch a comeback, right? And play from behind to try and grind out the win. Well, this time, they're actually in pole position here at 10-all.
Donk has just been so tamed on this CT side. He's been in main for the majority of these rounds. I want to see him get at it. Get involved. Oh, no. Back turned. Back in time and walking into his side. Torsen just gets 1-degged. There's a second layer to this. GamerLegion, instead of erupting on this A site, are going to call to wait for the flank. ZTR all the way round the world.
Oh, they try to give ZTR time to keep taking position, but now that he's lost that fight, that's an AK given over to Zontic. It's the big lurk that GamerLegion were relying upon falling out of the round.
Sure,
and this feels very, very awkward all of a sudden. as you try to go out ramp, you have to clear Shiro. If he gets away with a kill, things go from bad to worse. You're 2v4, and this might all come unraveled. This was meant to be where GamerLegion sailed into the lead. They had every advantage. This is what the last group of rounds were for, was for this freebie and the chance to move into pole position. Instead, it's Slend and Rez left in a real rough spot. Trying to play out through the door. Magic's on that swing, brings Rez down low. And I think at this point, GamerLegion know they can't win this. Yeah. And so they have to just relinquish the round. That is a gut punch of a way to give up what should have been you moving into the lead.
Just the way it happens as well. They even found Donk 1-for-1. I like this strat, the double layer outside lurk. I wonder why ZTR opts to play into hell rather than climb up the outside buckets. Maybe thinking there's someone going to come up secret. But it just feels like such a safer route to clear heaven from. If you go hell side, you have to be worried about ramp, lockers. You still have to climb up a ladder. It's a super risky position. And his team were ready to hit A. That's the kill that broke this round. Solo play for PR. He's had a few of them in this T side. They've never worked out. Walking out hard on the timing, going out ramp there on his own. Never really supported in his individual moves. And this could be how it comes crumbling down. ZTR ups the pace, makes it down very quick to Secret. So again, beat Chopper on the timing. Starts walking, but is Chopper aware of just how far he's gone? Oh yeah, doesn't want to force it there. Info transpired to Team Spirit.
Spirit already don't believe that this is going to end lower. Zontix threw in that one piece of util and instantly rotated away to go and retake ramp. Not only is that kind of strength of Chopper potentially, but this is misinfo for GamerLegion. Right? They now think there's 2 players down in this lower site.
Up the vent. I think it's, yeah, because of that info. And I mean, right now there are 2 players still dedicated ramp side. Shiro's holding heaven, they're scared of outside. Straight up the vent, into this top site. Shiro in an unorthodox position. They're not ready for him here. Him and Magic's combined for a couple. It's still salvageable for GamerLegion, but they're just getting iced out one by one, dropped, and no kills in the round is worst case scenario. Team Spirit on match point, 2 chances to close, and no money in their way. Feels like Mirage all over again.
I mean, that one really hurts, right? Even though that, yeah, they are reacting to the idea that there's 2 players in the B site, they do go into an under-defended top site, and a top site that's having to worry because ramp was open, right? Zontix was passive, so someone could have crept to hell at any point in that round. You actually had Spirit in a pretty vulnerable position there, and you don't get a single kill, barely even damage. Oh, this is how it all comes undone, is it? ZTR, 1 back. PR makes it down the vent, but what are they going to look to do with this? Is it just the ramp play? Shiro moving in, won't get here in time to stop them spilling out through ramp. Still has a chance to find players on the cross. There's Zontix already down on B, and he's been here from the start of the round. Slen now knows about it. And this vent drop, supposed to find Zontix, still takes them a while. There's a chance here for GamerLegion. It's not impossible. Vent rotate isn't an option for Spirit, and so for the time being, Chopper is very, very late to this retake. Essentially, it's a 2v2 right now.
He's walking ramp from outside. This is going to take him forever. This almost doesn't feel worth it to walk this position. They're going to go for this last second. Out ramp goes Shiro, 1v1, and it's free for Torsen. That molly won't do much. Torsen just swaps sides, gets back into cover, chooses his fight. They're running out of time. GamerLegion right there to win the round. The round they had no business winning, and it's Torsen with 3 kills to get it done. I think they had such good timing down ramp.
Yeah.
I don't know why they're waiting for Chopper. I would love to see Spirit play their timing. They were right there, walk out together left and right, trade that kill.
Especially because like you get so much info just around the bomb being planted. You know in that moment you have a 2v1, you know where they're planting because you can hear it. As you touched on, they had great timing, 2 players already there. But instead they stake it all on waiting for their captain on a very, like if he was running, fair, but he's walking the entire way. There's like 15 seconds left as they try that 3v2.
You know, it's one thing to go ramp there. I think Vent's also a really good option for Chopper to play late. He just lets his ramp players go, and then you go down the vent when the vent player turns around because they think, hey, it's so late, he's not going down. Either way, if you're going to go ramp, why wait that long? It just forces you to speed up on that B hit.
It's a golden opportunity for GamerLegion, though. They realize it, and it's given them a chance once more to compete for overtime in this series.
Oh, don't tell me they bungle it now, Harry. They won the hard round. This is supposed to be easier. They did it with Tech 9s in a 4v4. This is a stressful series right now for both teams.
You lose a 3v2. You have to sit there in silence on the back of a little tech pause.
We're back. My God.
I mean, at least, you know, your money isn't broken or anything if you're Spirit. You still have a chance. It's just, you know, is your mental broken after giving that one over? Let's see.
Been some rough rounds in this game.
Both teams with a full buy. Spirit's looking a little better. GamerLegion, surely.
Oh, my.
This is ballsy. They just set PR in. And they say, see what you can get away with. Cause some chaos.
Done that a few times where it's one player out hut, one player outdoor just to try and get an entry and then freeze. And it really scrambles the whole round for Spirit. Now late outside smokes after they take an entry. And it forces more players to dedicate to A. Donk watches outside alone. No main control. GamerLegion could just main split. It's temptation. Where is Donk? Is he inside? Is he outside? It's a big question right now for GamerLegion.
They will manage to make it across.
I love this.
The full sneak past the smokes out in the yard. So often when these smokes have gone down, it's just been ZTR solo lurking on this side of the map. Chopper, as well as the man who is often that first point to drop down lower, died right at the top of the round. And so now it's Magix down here.
But Magix is locked in right now. 22 and 15. He is the guy you want here right now.
He does have support. Spirit seemingly have the read. They did buy into the idea that GamerLegion might have crossed with these yard smokes. And so Shiro and Magix in position to get the job done. Plant tenuous for GamerLegion. They try to plug in these numbers. Magix closes the distance. And Rez, living on borrowed time here, is boxed in. There's no support available from Torsen. He's locked out. Spirit run the site down, and Donk will be the one to close this. Team Spirit taking the distance on both maps, but when all is said and done, they do emerge as the victors.
It's tight, it is ugly, it is not a pretty game for Team Spirit, but getting it done like that with some of the mad rounds GamerLegion injected into this series is still a win deserving of praise.